Hey everybody, welcome back to another video in the 31 days of spooky videos. Today, Haley and I are going to film together, but we're going to have two separate videos of these are our favorite horror films from every year since we were born. So, my list is going to be starting from the year 1992, and we have them prepared here on our phones, and we're just going to run through them and pop up some posters and talk, for just a little bit about each one. So for the year 1992, believe it or not, nothing. I'm going nothing right now because I don't want to be disingenuous. I don't want to just pick one to have it on this list. Out of the horror films I've seen in 1992, none of them stand out to me. None of them are a favorite of mine. So I haven't seen every single one in 1992, so it's a blind spot in my journey. But as of right now, as of this recording, no horror film in the year 1992 is a favorite of mine. So I have to go nothing on my birth year. It's unfortunate. But moving on to 1993, we have Hocus Pocus. This was a first-time watch recently. Very fun Disney, it almost feels Disney Channel-esque, but it's, obviously I think it's not a Disney Channel movie, but it's directed by Kenny Ortega, who did the High School Musical trilogy and Michael Jackson's This Is It. So it's very cool that way. Very, I love those titles. So Hocus Pocus, very fun, just kind of lighthearted. Need to check out the sequel. So. Moving on to 1994, Wes Craven's New Nightmare is my favorite. I really enjoy the meta take on this, turning the whole Nightmare on Elm Street thing on its head. Also really enjoy the fan film that we got from this, Dylan's New Nightmare. Highly recommend that. Another one, so there's only two of these on the list. 1995, nothing. I'm going nothing. And after that, we're all set. But yeah, 92 and 95, those are my blind spots. I don't know what it is about those years. Got to kind of figure out. But yeah, 1995, I'm going nothing. 1996, it's a little predictable, but I'm going Scream. It's just, it's my favorite of the franchise. It's the only one I really care about. So yeah, funny. So far we have two Wes Craven movies on this list. It's a classic. Nothing else I can add to it. Scream. 1997, The Devil's Advocate, or Devil's Advocate, whatever you want to call this. This was another recent watch, first time. Great movie, slow burn, tension-filled, very, very sensual, and just, oh man, best Keanu Reeves acting I've ever seen. Al Pacino is nuts. Connie Nielsen is, great. And then you have Charlize Theron, just bonkers. Very, very good movie. I recommend that one. 1998, probably, the only superhero movie on this list, Blade. Yeah, I do need to rewatch it, but I do remember watching it and liking it. So, yeah, I'm going 1998, Blade. 1999, The Blair Witch Project. This is a classic, one of my all-time favorite horror films. It's potentially the best found footage movie of all time. And the ending is just chef's kiss. 2000 is an underrated movie, in my opinion, Hollow Man, with Kevin Bacon and Elizabeth Shue. It's a modern at the time, modern version of The Invisible Man, and it's very just, it flips it on its head because it turns it into more of like a stalker kind of movie, so very, very cool that way. 2001, one of my all-time favorite films, horror films, Jeepers Creepers. The Creeper's great. I know Victor Salva, we don't like to talk about him, but this first film is incredibly creepy. Watched it when I was way too young on that VHS. I can remember popping that in, and the opening is my favorite opening to any horror film. Like if someone were to ask me, what's your favorite opening to a horror film? I'm going Jeepers Creepers. 2002, Ghost Ship. Yes, this is a very fun movie. Another wicked opening to a horror film. This would be like a close contender with that blade that kind of goes right through everybody. Nearly missing Violet Baudelaire from a series of unfortunate events. So that wasn't a unfortunate event, thankfully. But it was for everybody else. So yeah, Ghost Ship. Another really creepy, just, almost like if you went down to the bottom of the Titanic and it was like inhabited by ghosts kind of thing. Ugh, 2003 is the remake of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Not only is this my favorite in the franchise, I think this is the best horror remake, period. This is the one that you should strive to top. Like, if you're going to remake a horror film, you should have Marcus Nispel's 2003 version of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre kind of as your blueprint. It just surpasses everything that the original has, and it makes it 1,000 times more frightening. 2004 and 2005 are Saw and Saw 2, and they're the only Saw films on this list. The first Saw is phenomenal. That's my favorite in the franchise. And then Saw 2 is actually a pretty solid sequel. I mean, it obviously ups everything, but yeah, for those years, 2004, 2005, I'm going Saw 2. 2006, another really good remake, not like, on the level of the Texas Chainsaw, but 2006, I'm going When a Stranger Calls. Yes, we watched the original When a Stranger Calls recently, and man, is the remake just light years in front of it, in my opinion. I don't know, because that original doesn't focus on the house situation. It's only like the first 20 minutes of that. The remake is all that, like the whole 20 minutes, but feature length. So yeah, for me, it's so superior. And have you checked the children? 2007, another phenomenal found footage movie, Paranormal Activity. The takeaway for me on this, the thing I want to add to the video, is I much prefer the ending, which I don't know if you can find it anymore, but I remember watching this on like a bootleg DVD that my niece gave me. Shout out to Christy. And it had the ending where Katie is just kind of rocking back and forth on the floor, and the cops show up and they shoot her and kill her. They kill her. Like, they just point blank kill her because she kind of rushes at them. And that's like the demon leaving her or something. It's a much better ending, in my opinion, versus the one we have where she just kind of looks at the camera and does that. Like, I don't know, like, that's not realistic. I much prefer that one, or there's another one where she kind of, either one of those I prefer, but that of course kind of gets rid of the rest of the franchise, so I understand. 2008, The Strangers. Yes, next year we're getting some new Strangers films, but I don't think anything's going to top the original The Strangers. It's just it's a very frightening film, very realistic, very grounded. It could happen. And I've never really been a fan of Liv Tyler. She's great in Armageddon, but this is, I think, her best acting performance that I've ever seen. For 2009, I originally had a film called Birdemic on there because I had looked at 2009 and I couldn't find anything that really stood out to me other than Birdemic, which is an interesting film. Having watched a film from 2009 recently and really loved it, so much so that it's the favorite of the franchise for me, I have to scratch Birdemic off, and I have to include Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. Now, I know this is controversial, so let me just quickly talk about this. This is my favorite Halloween film in the entire franchise, even over John Carpenter's original. I know. Go ahead, boo me. Just something about this movie. I'm not emotionally connected to the Michael Myers thing, so this feels very unique, and it is very unique. It's Rob Zombie doing his own thing, and I so appreciate that, and I have to give major props to the mask. A lot of people hate that mask. I dig the crap out of it. I love it so much. I have the Trick or Treat Studios mask on the way. To me, it reminds me of the Terminator at the end of T2, where he has the endoskeleton kind of showing, from the skin being peeled off and everything. Oh, it's so good. I love it so much, T2, H2. It's great shit. So yeah, I'm going Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. 2010, Devil. Talked a lot about it recently during the 31 days, but I want to sing the praises of Devil. It's, I think, one of the best single location movies for the majority. There's other locations in the film, but the majority of the film is in the elevator, and very creepy, very atmospheric, intense for a PG-13 film as well. 2011, another remake. We're going Fright Night with Colin Farrell, Anton Yelchin. What is that? McLovin is in the movie. Yeah, I like the original and the remake for different reasons, but Colin Farrell is great as Jerry. 2012 is still my favorite Rob Zombie film as of right now. It's The Lords of Salem, and I want more people to watch The Lords of Salem. It's just, I think, I've said it, I'll say it again in case you haven't heard me say it, it's the least Rob Zombie movie, you know what I mean? because most people would say, oh, The Munsters is the least. And it's like, yeah, well, that's just not even really a Rob Zombie movie. It's so out of his norm. This is in his norm, and it's not like his norm kind of thing. You know what I mean? 2013, VHS 2. Love anthology stuff. This is, I think, maybe the best of the VHS films that I've seen. And it has my favorite segment, that like cult segment where they all kill themselves. There's like that moment where they all kill themselves. Oh gosh, just like nightmare fuel in your head, like it doesn't leave kind of thing. So going VHS 2. 2014 is It Follows. It's a modern classic. I think a lot of us can agree on that. Micah Monroe is phenomenal in this film, and really unnerving moments in the movie for sure. Lots of very bizarre nudity as well. 2015 is The Visit. This is a found footage movie that kind of brought M. Night back into everybody's okay field, and not much I could add to the discussion of The Visit. 2016 is Terrifier. Really enjoy Terrifier and the sequel, but this is the only Terrifier on the list. And Art the Clown's great. I've had the opportunity to have Damien Leone and David Howard Thornton both on my podcast. So my link to the podcast is down below if you want to scroll through the podcast and try to find the Damien episode and the David Howard Thornton episode. I talked to them before Terrifier 2 came out, so I got lucky there. 2017, Get Out. Jordan Peele owns 2017. 2018, Unsane from Steven Soderbergh. Very good, kind of what the hell am I watching movie. And it has Jay Pharoah from SNL, the guy who did the Obama impression and stuff, but he's like serious. 2019, Jordan Peele owns 2019 as well. It's Us. It's my favorite Jordan Peele movie. Love the doppelganger thing. 2020 is The Invisible Man. This is another remake, so I have 2 Invisible Man things going on this list. But another one that I remember watching in the theater right before the whole pandemic broke out. It was the last movie I caught in the theaters. So and it's just a really solid film. 2021 is Old. I know a lot of people are not fans of Old. I am. It's just so Twilight Zone-y to me, and just a wicked premise of like your whole life encapsulated into a day. Nuts. 2022 is the biggest surprise for a horror film in a long time for me, and that's Barbarian. Nutty movie. So good. So in need of a physical release, isn't it? And then rounding out 2023, currently, it could change, but currently my favorite is Knock at the Cabin. Another M. Night Shyamalan fan, another M. Night Shyamalan film. I know. But you guys know me. I love some M. Night. So, Knock at the Cabin. Check it out. Even if you weren't a fan of Old. I know some people weren't fans of Old, but they really enjoyed Knock at the Cabin. So, go check that out if you haven't. It's a phenomenal performance from Dave Bautista, and you got freaking Ron Weasley in there. So, good stuff. But yeah, that's every movie that is a favorite of mine, horror related, from the year of my birth, 1992, all the way up to current time right now. Just with 2 in there that I couldn't pick, 92 and 95. So got to work on that. Let me know whatever year you were born. Let us know whatever year you were born. From that point on, every year your favorite horror film. Put that list down in the comments. Would love to read it. And again, we're filming 2 videos today, so look forward to Haley's video. Thank you for watching. As always, we really appreciate you. If you want to do the thing we never ask you to do, it's right over here. And if you want to do the thing that takes you to the whole playlist of the 31 Days of Spooky videos, it's right there. Right there. And as always, keep being fans of horror.